Many people think that the problems that we are now facing, the crisis that we are now facing in America, is because of our politicians. It's because of our government. No, it's not. Hi, my name is Daniel Ferrer from Patriot Kids Foundation, and today I want to tell you that the problems and the crisis that we're facing right now doesn't come from government. It doesn't come from our politicians because they didn't get there by themselves. It comes from us, from the lack of knowledge, from the lack of knowing how our nation was created, knowing what our founding fathers did for America. The only thing that we can do in this moment is educate ourselves. Many of you may say, but the politicians are the ones that are supposed to represent us. Yes, they are. But if we don't know what they represent, because they don't just represent us, they represent an ideology, they represent a form of thinking. If we don't know what they represent for that, then they're not good representatives. We're not good, we the people. What is the first thing that a politician should represent? Easy. No one knows? Of course you wouldn't, because you don't know how our founding fathers made America. You don't know the intention of America. That is life. Each and one of the representatives, if they were good representatives, if they are the people that are going to represent us, we the people, and the American nation, if they are America first representatives, if they are Americans first representatives, then they will have to support life. Why? Well, because life is the first God-given right given to each and one of us. And if you don't support life, then you don't support what our founding fathers did for America. If you don't support life, you don't support the prosperity for America. If you don't support life, you don't support the respect towards our individual rights. Samuel Adams said that the first thing in government should always be right. That is the first thing that should always be respected. For example, let's say you're on the highway right now. You're going to Washington, D.C. Let's say you get off at the exit in Richmond, Virginia. Every other exit there comes between Richmond, Virginia and Washington, D.C., you're going to miss it because you're off the highway. But if you keep on that highway of life, and you forget about all the exit, which doesn't support life, doesn't support prosperity, doesn't support individual rights, doesn't represent individual respects to rights, then you'll keep on that highway. You'll keep on that highway of respect to life, respect to Americans, respect to America, respect to our founding fathers. That is the highway we all should be on. That is a highway that each and one of the representatives should be on if they really represent America. Now, I want to keep a motto because today, this is a big surprise and it's very happy for me to be doing this. We are opening up this new session, this new segment that's going to be every Saturday. It's going to be called Founding Education. Here we are going to talk about everything that's America. Why America is exceptional. How our founding fathers created America. Our founding documents, what they represent in our American. We have to learn that our documents are very important. Why? Because they're in each day of our lives. And I want to keep a motto to this new segment. And it is, if the education is the problem, then education is the solution. That means that if we are not educated, the only way to fix that is by being educated. It's the only one that the problem is a solution. That doesn't work for anything else, just education. Government. If government's the problem, government's not the solution. So the only place where that works is in education. The only place to start that, to learn about our American history, is with this document I have in my hand. The Declaration of Independence. Everyone look at it perfectly. That is the birth certificate of America. This is what our founding fathers said. We are a new nation. We are a nation where rights are respected. Let's read this. I want to read the first part of here. We're going to read this and keep reading it every episode, because this education right here is what's going to lead us to, again, an America first. To, again, a nation that is that nation on the hill that every country wanted to be. The role model for the world. The nation that our founding fathers created. The great, the bright, the amazing, the exceptional America. Let's read this. And before I start, and not very a lot of people notice this, is that on the top of the Declaration of Independence, it says, the unanimous declaration for the 13 United States of America. What does unanimous mean? Unanimous means that this is a government document, hear this very clearly, a government document that was created that everyone supported. So, yes, the Declaration is one of the most important documents. Why? Well, because it's a government document. Not everyone wants to accept that. Not everyone knows that. That's the most important of all of this. And this is a government document, and that this is where everything started. Let's read the first paragraph, which is not the preamble. The preamble is the second paragraph. Not a lot of people know that either. When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them to another, to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal stations to which the laws of nature and nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare causes which impel them to separation. Here comes the preamble. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that we are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government laying its foundation on such principles, and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Pursuits, indeed, will dedicate that governments long established should not be changed for light of transit causes, and accordingly to all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer when evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses, usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide a new guard for their future security. What are our founding fathers saying here? Well, they're saying that, first of all, we're endowed by our Creator, then that we have the rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness that no one can take away. That when government is not respecting these rights, we have the right to abolish them. Then at the last part, the last thing I read you is the most important of all. I'm going to read that again. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, advances a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right. Note this. It is their right. It is their duty to throw off such governments and provide new guards for their future security. They're saying here that if we have the ability, if we have it possible to change what is wrong, we have the right to do that. We have the responsibility to do that. Why? Because we are the people. We are the people that are in charge of America. We just put representatives there so that they can protect our rights. But we are who make sure that these rights be respected. These rights are given by God. The quote from Thomas Jefferson is the most important of all. It says, and I quote, "The God who gave us life gave us liberty at the same time." End quote. Thomas Jefferson is saying the God who gave us life. So when we were born, God gave us life. Okay? He says he gave us liberty at the same time. And it's our duty to protect those rights. It's our duty to make sure that government is not disrespecting these rights. And that is exactly what we want to teach at Patriot Kids Foundation. We want to teach that our rights have to be respected. Not can or should be respected, no, have to be respected. And apart from everything that we're reading today, I also want to tell you something. It's a new project that we're doing. And it is that we have seen how our communities and how our nation has been on a downfall of everything that America represented. We have seen how our government is being destroyed piece by piece, how America is being destroyed piece by piece. And this new project aspires to be a valuable resource to recently arrived immigrants. What we want to do is educate immigrants, but educate them civically, educate them financially, educate them emotionally. Why? Well, because even the best of the people, even the person that cares about everyone that hasn't had ever a criminal record on their life, nothing, not even a speeding ticket, that person comes from a communist nation. It comes from a nation that rights are not respected. And now they have arrived here in America. And they don't know how America works. They don't know that each of us have to respect each other's rights. So, even if it's the best person in the world, they have to know how America works. They have to learn that in America, we respect each other. We are there for each other, that we respect each